Hello. Have you ever had a pay rise and thought, yes, finally, I'm moving up in life? Then 2 weeks later, you buy groceries, fill the car, pay a bill, and suddenly your bank account is looking at you like, don't ask me, I'm confused too. If that sounds familiar, you are not alone. Today we are solving that everyday money mystery. Are you genuinely earning more, or is inflation quietly sneaking into your wallet like a tiny financial ninja? By the end of this video, you will not just understand your salary, you will understand the secret life of your salary. We will keep it simple, useful, and hopefully painless. No boring economics lecture, no calculated drama, just real life money explained in a way ordinary people can actually use. So, the big question, are you really earning more? Most people look at their salary and think, if the number went up, I must be winning. And yes, seeing a bigger number on your payslip feels lovely. It is like your employer gave your bank account a little pat on the head. But here is a serious question hiding behind the good feeling. Did your pay rise faster than prices went up? You can think of your income like a bucket of water. Your pay rise pours more water in. Inflation, being the cheeky little troublemaker it is, drills a hole in the bottom. If the water is leaking out faster than it is coming in, you may look richer on paper, but in real life you are standing there with a wet floor, an empty bucket, and no idea who invited inflation to the party. Right, there are three simple terms you need to know. Just these three simple terms. So what's inflation? Inflation is when prices rise over time. In plain English, it is when the same shopping basket costs more, even though the basket did not suddenly become fancy or start wearing designer shoes. What's your nominal income? Your nominal income is the number on your payslip or bank statement. It tells you how many dollars arrived, but it doesn't tell you whether those dollars came with muscles or arrived tired and hungry. So, real income. This is the important one. So what's your real income? Your real income is your income after adjusting for inflation. This is the important one. It tells you what your money can actually buy after prices have finished doing their little dance upwards. So, if your salary goes up by 2.5%, but prices rise by 4%, your payslip may look happier, but your shopping trolley knows the truth. Right, let's make this real. Imagine you started a job in 2022 and you're earning, let's say, $32,000 per year. Nice and simple. No financial gymnastics yet. Then your salary increased each year. So in 2023, your salary was $32,800 per year. We can say there was an increase of $800 per year. Then next year in 2024, you were earning $33,700 per year. There was an increase of $900. Then in 2025, you were earning $34,700, and you can tell there was an increase of $1,000 per year that year. So at first glance, this looks like good news. Your salary has gone from $32,000 to $34,700. That sounds like progress, isn't it? It feels like the salary has been going to the gym, but before we celebrate too hard, we need to invite inflation into the room. Unfortunately, inflation never brings snacks. Right. Let's first check how much does inflation eat. Before we go any further, always remember this formula. Always multiply your new salary with the inflation rate in decimals. We'll show this in this example. So we'll use 2022 when you were earning $32,000 as our base year. So in 2023, you were making $32,800 per year, and we will use 4% inflation rate just for this example. In 2024, you were making $33,700 per year. Again, we'll use the same percentage for inflation rate. And 2025, you were making $34,700 per year. We'll use the same inflation rate. Right, let's do some maths. So, in year 2023, as we are not looking at 2022, we're using it just as a base year. So you were actually making on your payslip 32,800 years. Inflation rate was 400. So the inflation was costing you in that year $1,312. How we have calculated this figure? We just multiplied the money you were making per year in 2023, which was $32,800, and we multiplied it with the rate of inflation in decimals, which was 0.04. So actually, inflation reduces the spending power of your salary by $1,312. Okay, let's see how much money you were making in 2024. So your nominal income in 2024 was $33,700, and the inflation rate was 4%. So again, the formula we use is we multiply your nominal income of $33,700 with the inflation rates in decimal, which was 0.04. So the prices kept rising. So you were again losing $1,348 that year. Let's see how much you were making in 2025. So your nominal income was $34,700 per year. Inflation was 4%, but you were losing actually $1,388 that year. So your salary is still higher, but inflation is still taking a bite. Right. Do we know, or how we can calculate, did the pay rise beat inflation, or what? How can you figure this out? Okay, let's look at another example. Well, this is where actually the plot twist happens. A pay rise can be positive in dollars, but still negative in real life. It is like getting a bigger slice of cake, but someone made the whole cake smaller when you were not looking. Okay, so the formula we use in order to calculate the percentage increase or decrease in your pay rise is that we just calculate the difference between the money you were making previous year with the money you're making in the current year. So for example, in 2022, which we used as our base year, you were actually making $32,000 per year. And in 2023, your income raised and it was $32,800. So there was an increase of $800 for that year. So in order to calculate percentage change, what we did was, in 2023, you were making $800 more dollars. So we divided $800 by the money you were making, or what was your salary per year, previous year, which was $32,000, and we multiplied with 100. So it gave us 2.5% increase. However, when we compared it with inflation, which was 4%, and when we subtract 2.5% increase from the inflation rate, which was 4%, you were actually in loss of, it was negative 1.50. So your pay went up, but not enough to beat inflation. We'll use the same logic in 2024. While in previous year, in 2023, you were making $32,800, and your income went up in 2024, and it was $33,700, which was a $900 increase. So we'll divide $900 increase by $32,800, and we multiply this number with 100. So actually, there was a 2.74% increase in your income, but when we compare it with inflation, so you were still in negative 1.26%. So you are still slightly behind rising prices. Okay, let's use the same logic for next year, 2025. So you are making $34,700 in year 2025 as compared to $33,700 that you were making in 2024. So there was a $1,000 increase per year in 2025. So what we did, we simply used the same formula. We divided $1,000, which was your income raise, and we divided by 33,700, which was your income for the previous year, and we multiplied it. We got 2.97% increase in your income. But for this example, when we compare it with inflation, which was 4% again, so you are again in negative 1.03%. It's still better than before, but still below inflation. Isn't it interesting? Right. How do you calculate the real income calculation? How do you know what your real income is? Always remember this formula. Your real income is equal to your nominal income divided by 1 plus inflation rate in decimals. Just remember your formula and life will be easy. Right, we'll use the same example and do some maths to calculate your real income. Right, in 2022, you know you were making $32,000 per year, which we are using this as our base year. In 2023, your income raised $800. You were making $32,800. So what we did in 2023, we multiplied your nominal income divided by 1.04. Well, 1 is, we use this number in our formula, and then 0.04 is the inflation rate. So you were actually making $31,538.46. That's your real income. In 2024, your real income was $32,403.85. That was your real income. On your paycheck, you were earning $33,700, but your real income is only $32,403.85. And the same thing happened in 2025. You thought you were making $34,700 as it shows in your paycheck, but actually, when we have done some maths, you were actually making $33,365.38. So, my final message for you is, which is a life-changing lesson, and I do not want to say that lightly because this can genuinely change how you look at money. Do not judge your income only by the number on your payslip. That number can smile at you and still hide the truth. Always ask, what can this money actually buy? A pay rise feels good, but the real win is when your income grows faster than inflation. If this video makes you look at your salary differently, then my job here is done. I may not have saved you from a dragon, but if I help you spot inflation hiding behind your pay rise, that is close enough for today. Next time you hear about a pay rise, do not just ask how much more I am earning. Ask the smarter question. Am I actually better off? Yeah. Right. If you want to calculate how much inflation is nibbling away at your money, work out your actual percentage income increase, or track your real income over time, I have created some very useful tools for you. They do the boring math, so your brain does not have to file a complaint. You will find the link in the description below. Thank you very much for your time. I hope that after watching this video, money feels a little less mysterious and inflation looks a little less powerful. If this helped you, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and press the bell icon so you never miss another simple money lesson. Your future self may thank you, possibly with interest. Thank you very much.